Now here's a disturbing thought. What if your phone could tell you exactly when and how you're going to die? Down to the minute. Down to the precise circumstances. Would you want to know? Would you dare to look? Because 3 months ago, a filter appeared on social media that did exactly that. No developer name. No company behind it. It just appeared. One day it wasn't there, and the next day, millions of people were using it. They called it Your End. Simple name. Terrifying premise. You'd open the app, activate the AR filter, and your phone's camera would show you something impossible. You'd see yourself, standing exactly where you are but different, injured, dying. Sometimes peaceful, sometimes violent. Always specific, always detailed. And overlaid across the image? A date, a time, a countdown. At first, everyone thought it was a joke. Some edgy marketing campaign for a horror movie, maybe? Or just another creepy internet trend designed to go viral and sell merch. People laughed about it, made TikToks. Look, I'm gonna die falling off a ladder, so random. Mine says car accident, but I don't even drive. This filter is so dumb. It was entertainment. Dark humor. A morbid party trick. Until people started dying. Exactly as the filter predicted. Down to the minute. My name is irrelevant. What matters is that I'm one of the few people who used Your End and survived to figure out what it really is. And trust me when I tell you, if you see this filter, if it pops up on your feed with that simple black icon and those 2 words in white text, do not use it. Because the filter doesn't predict your death, it causes it. And once you've seen your end, there's only one way to escape it. Let me take you back to the beginning. September 14th, 2024. That's when Your End first appeared. We know the date because tech journalists have traced it back, tried to find the source code, the original upload, anything. But it's like the filter materialized out of nowhere, simultaneously across Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and even Facebook. Within 24 hours, 50 million people had used it. The results were varied. Most people got mundane deaths, old age, heart attacks in their sleep, peaceful stuff decades in the future. Those people laughed it off, feeling weirdly relieved. At least I make it to 92. But some people got different predictions. Violent ones. Soon ones. And those people? They posted their results with a mix of humor and genuine unease. There was this guy, Kyle Bradshaw, a fitness influencer from California. 23 years old, absolutely shredded, the picture of health. He used the filter on September 15th during a gym session. His results showed him lying at the bottom of a staircase, neck bent at an impossible angle. The timestamp. September 17th, 11:47 p.m. Kyle thought it was hilarious. The filter thinks I'm going to fall down the stairs? Me? I literally do parkour for fun. This thing is so random. He posted it. Got 3 million views. Everyone in the comments was joking about it. September 17th rolls around. Kyle's at a house party. He's been drinking, sure, but nothing crazy. At 11:43 p.m., he posts an Instagram story. 4 minutes until I supposedly die falling downstairs. I'm going to stand perfectly still in an open field just to prove this filter wrong. His phone's GPS shows he walked outside to the backyard. Flat ground. No stairs anywhere near him. At 11:47 p.m., there's a commotion inside the house. Someone's causing a scene. People are rushing toward the back door. Kyle turns to look, takes a step backward, and doesn't realize he's standing at the edge of the pool deck. There's a decorative stone staircase leading down to the lower patio. 3 steps, that's all. Kyle Bradshaw fell backward down those 3 stone steps, broke his neck, died instantly. The timestamp on his Apple Watch when paramedics arrived? 11:47 p.m. Exactly as predicted. Now you might think Kyle's death was a coincidence. Tragic, sure, but coincidence. The internet certainly did. People were still using the filter, still posting their results, still laughing. Then it happened again, and again, and again. Jessica Ramirez from Austin, Texas. The filter showed her in a car crash, T-boned on the driver's side. October 3rd, 6:15 a.m. She saw it, got scared, and decided she wouldn't drive that day. Called in sick to work. Stayed home. Ordered everything she needed online. 6:14 a.m. on October 3rd, She's in her living room watching TV. Safe. A car loses control on the street outside, crashes through her front wall, and pins her against her couch. Driver was having a medical emergency. Nobody could have predicted it. Time of death: 6:15 a.m. Marcus Sullivan from London. Filter showed him drowning in his bathtub. Seemed absurd. Marcus was terrified of deep water, only took showers. The date came. He avoided water all day. Didn't even drink anything. Paranoid. That night, exhausted from stress, he finally decides to prove the filter wrong. Takes a shallow bath, just a few inches of water, sits down to relax. Falls asleep. Slides down. Drowns in 4 inches of water. Exactly as predicted. Exactly when predicted. The internet started freaking out. Hashtag #YourEndisReal started trending. People were deleting their results, reporting the filter, begging the platforms to remove it. But here's the thing. The filter wouldn't go away. Removed from one account, it would reappear from another. Banned by Instagram, it would pop up on TikTok. It was like digital cancer, spreading faster than it could be cut out. Conspiracy theories exploded. Was it a government psyop? A hacker collective? Supernatural forces? Aliens? Everyone had a theory. Nobody had answers. And through it all, people kept dying. By November 2024, documented cases linked to year-end predictions numbered in the hundreds. The platforms finally managed to suppress it, mostly. It became harder to find. But the damage was done. Millions of people had used it. Millions of people now carried a prediction in their minds. And the countdowns were still ticking. I need to tell you about Dr. Sarah Kimball, neuroscientist, professor at MIT. Brilliant woman. She became obsessed with year-end from a scientific perspective. See, Dr. Kimball didn't believe in supernatural nonsense. She believed in data, patterns, explanations. She created a private research group, about 40 people who'd used the filter and agreed to be studied. She tracked them, interviewed them, analyzed their predictions. She was looking for the mechanism. How could a simple AR filter possibly cause these deaths? Her theory was fascinating. She believed year-end was using a combination of technologies we didn't fully understand yet. Predictive AI trained on massive datasets of human behavior, biometric scanning through phone cameras that could detect microscopic health issues, location data, purchase history, social media patterns, everything we willingly give to our phones. The filter, she theorized, wasn't magical. It was just absurdly advanced. AI making extremely accurate predictions based on probability and existing conditions. But that didn't explain the precision, the exact times, the impossibly specific circumstances. Dr. Kimball herself used the filter. For science, she said. Her results showed her in her laboratory, slumped over her desk, what appeared to be a brain aneurysm. Date: January 15, 2025. Time: 3:33 p.m. She documented everything. Set up cameras in her lab. Had colleagues monitor her health. She was going to prove that foreknowledge could prevent the prediction. That human choice could override whatever algorithm was at work. January 15, 2025. Dr. Kimball didn't go to her lab. Stayed home, surrounded herself with friends. Had medical personnel on standby. She was on a video call with her research group, showing them she was fine, proving her theory. At 3:30 p.m. she started feeling dizzy. She laughed it off. Stress, probably. At 3:32 p.m. she mentioned a headache. At 3:33 p.m. she collapsed. Massive brain aneurysm. Dead before she hit the floor. Her autopsy showed something interesting though. The aneurysm was fresh. Brand new. The doctor said it was like it appeared spontaneously, which should be medically impossible. Aneurysms develop over time. They don't just materialize. But this one did. Almost like something made it happen. After Dr. Kimball's death, her research fell into the hands of one of her grad students, a guy named David Park. And David, he noticed something everyone else had missed. Every single person who died exactly as year-end predicted, they all tried to avoid their death. Every single one. Kyle tried to stand in an open field. Jessica stayed home from driving. Marcus avoided water. Dr. Kimball stayed away from her lab. All of them took active steps to prevent what they'd seen. But the people who just lived their lives, who used the filter, saw their result, and then went about their day without obsessing over it? Most of them were fine. Their prediction dates came and went. Nothing happened. David started calling people from Dr. Kimball's original research group, interviewed them, tracked them, and sure enough, the pattern held. The people who ignored their predictions, who forgot about them, who didn't let it change their behavior, they survived. The people who tried to fight it, who tried to outsmart it, dead. David developed a theory that was somehow even more disturbing than death itself. Your end wasn't predicting deaths. It was creating potential deaths, quantum possibilities, and the act of trying to avoid your predicted death was what collapsed the possibility into reality. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but on a metaphysical level. The more you fought against your fate, the more you ensured it would happen. Your fear, your changed behavior, your desperate attempts to survive, that's what created the circumstances of your death. The filter was a trap, a psychological weapon. And by the time you realized it, you'd already sprung it. Which brings me to my own experience. I used your end on October 1st, 2024. Before I knew what it really was. Before the death started making headlines. My results showed me, in my apartment, sitting exactly where I'm sitting right now, recording this video, there was blood. A lot of blood. And the timestamp. February 10th, 2025, 8:47 p.m. That's tonight. That's in about 20 minutes from when I started recording this. I spent 4 months living with that image in my head. I watched the news reports. I saw the pattern emerge. I read Dr. Kimball's research. I understood what I had to do. Nothing. I had to do nothing. Change nothing. Fight nothing. Because the moment I tried to save myself, the moment I let fear dictate my actions, I would create the circumstances of my death. So I lived my life. I went to work. I saw friends. I came home every night to this apartment. I sat in this chair. I recorded my videos, just like always. And you know what? I'm terrified. I'm absolutely paralyzed with fear because there's a part of me that wonders if recording this video, if telling this story, if warning others, maybe that counts as trying to change my fate. Maybe by doing this, I'm creating the circumstances the filter showed me. But I have to try. I have to warn people because your end is still out there. It's harder to find now, sure. The platforms are better at removing it. But it pops up. New users find it every day. And those people deserve to know the truth before they use it. If you see your end, do not use it. I don't care how curious you are. I don't care how much your friends pressure you. I don't care if you think you're brave enough to handle seeing your death. You're not. Nobody is. And if you've already used it, if you've already seen your death, then I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Your only chance is to forget what you saw. Live your life. Don't change a thing. Don't try to be clever. Don't try to outsmart it. Just live. It's 8:46 p.m. now. 1 minute until my predicted death. I'm still sitting here. Still recording. Still alive. And you know what I realized? What I finally, truly understood about 10 minutes ago. The filter doesn't create your death. It doesn't predict your death. It doesn't trap you in some quantum certainty. The filter shows you your fear, your deepest, most primal terror. And then it watches to see what you'll do with that fear. Will you let it consume you? Will you let it change you? Will you let it control every decision you make? Because that's what kills you. Not some mystical force, not some AI algorithm, not fate or destiny or predetermined death. Fear kills you. Your own fear, your own paralysis, your own desperate, panicked attempts to control the uncontrollable. Kyle died because he was drunk and distracted, focused on his phone and his prediction instead of where he was standing. Jessica died because her obsessive fear made the news about the erratic driver. She'd been watching the street all morning, and when she saw his car, the stress triggered a panic attack that made her freeze instead of move. Marcus died because exhaustion and stress made him fall asleep in that bathtub. Dr. Kimball? The stress of her experiment, the pressure, the fear, it literally burst a blood vessel in her brain. We killed ourselves. All of us. The filter just gave us a reason to be afraid. And me, sitting here, telling you this story, thinking I've figured it out? I've spent 4 months in constant stress, constant fear. I haven't slept properly, haven't eaten right. My blood pressure is through the roof. My anxiety is consuming me. It's 8:47 p.m. I'm still here. Still alive. The prediction was wrong. Or maybe by understanding what the filter really is, by seeing through the trick, I broke the cycle. Maybe fear only has the power we give it. Or maybe my death isn't tonight at all. Maybe the filter showed me, sitting here, bloody, recording this video. Because that's what I'm doing right now. Recording, sharing, spreading the filter's legend further and wider than it's ever gone before. Maybe I'm not the victim. Maybe I'm the virus. Think about it. You just spent 25 minutes listening to me talk about your end. You know what it does. You know how to find it. And deep down, underneath all your rational skepticism, there's a tiny voice asking, but what would my death look like? You're curious now. You want to know. You tell yourself you won't use the filter. But you're going to look for it, aren't you? Just to see if it's real. Just to verify. And when you find it, because you will find it, it always finds the curious ones. You'll use it. You'll tell yourself it's for research or skepticism or just to prove it's fake. But you'll look. You'll see. And then you'll tell others. Just like I'm telling you. That's what your end really is. Not a death predictor. Not a quantum trap. It's a psychological virus. A self-replicating idea that spreads through fear and curiosity. And every person who uses it, every person who tells its story, every person who can't resist looking, they become another carrier. The filter doesn't need to be real to kill you. It just needs you to believe it might be. So here's my real warning, the one that matters. This entire story might be a lie. A fiction designed to make your end seem real, seem dangerous, seem irresistible. Or it might be the truth. Or it might be something in between. Real deaths with imagined connections. Pattern-seeking human brains finding meaning in randomness. But you'll never know for sure unless you look. And that's exactly what it wants. Sweet dreams, everyone. Try not to think about when you'll die. Try not to wonder what you'd see if you used the filter. Try not to look, but I know you will anyway.